Welcome to a DropTent Media production.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Permiano.
And I'm Dan DeBriel, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news. Hey.
We are live. A little late, a little bit late.
A little bit late. Still a little incomplete, but we are live.
We'll get there. We'll get there, hopefully. We got Sidney Gantt coming on in.
A great special guest coming in.
When he wants. No rush, no rush.
We take it casually here at the
Hey,
Hey, speak of the devil. What's up, Sidney?
Sidney, hey, we're live.
What's up, dude?
Don't...
Nah, you don't need
Don't
to
talk
say hi
to
to him.
Yeah, talk to him when the cameras are off. Yeah, you don't need him. Yeah, we're all here.
Yeah.
Sidney, welcome to the show.
Wow, perfect timing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. The key to comedy is timing, and you nailed it. We were just going live.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
I thought it would be hilarious if you just didn't show. I'm 11 minutes out. Just U-turn. Fuck it. It'd been funny. I would have laughed.
It's true.
At the audacity. Yeah.
You did make a good point right before the credits rolled. We were like dogs down here. Someone's walking around upstairs, and every time there was a noise, we were like, "Is that Sidney?"
Okay.
So we were very excited to see.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very excited.
I like to build anticipation for my arrival.
That's right. This is the most excited we've ever been to see
I
a
know.
guest walk through.
Nice.
Yeah.
Barely contain myself.
Yeah.
This is about as excited as Dave gets.
It's true. Yeah. So Sidney, you're coming from your podcast, which you just changed the name of.
I did.
It was formerly Two Jack Bros.
It was.
Now it's Chakra Poppers.
Without the question mark. But yes.
Less doubtful on it.
There's not enough podcast names with punctuation in it.
I mean, I think a lot of the punctuation is implied.
There you go. Okay.
It's implied punctuation and almost never a question mark.
Yeah, the implication was not a question
Well,
mark.
it's good because I was going to ask about Two Jack Bros because it's you and your wife. Was that the original lineup? Was she originally one of the bros, or did she come in and take a bro's spot?
Well, yes and no. I mean, she was supposed to do the podcast with me early on, but right before I started it, she backed out. And then I started doing the podcast with Dave Toper.
Oh, that dude's pretty fucking jacked.
Yeah. And that's So we changed the name to Two Jack Bros.
Okay.
And then he, doesn't do comedy anymore.
He moved to Arizona too, didn't he?
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Did he stay jacked? Is he still
Oh,
jacked?
dude, that
he's
dude is
pretty
that
jacked.
dude will die jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked.
Okay, cool.
He's having a good time.
So then your wife came on?
Yeah, and we were just like a goof off podcast, just like every other podcast.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe her as jacked. I don't normally use that term on women, but she could beat the shit out of three of us in this room. I've seen on Instagram, YouTube MMA fight each other. Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm.
You MMA fight your wife?
We do jujitsu.
Okay.
Well, that's
No cage. The cage would make it weird
one
in
of
a marriage.
that's one of the forms in MMA. I don't talk fight terms that often.
Yeah, none of you do.
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm listening to the fight talk right now.
Yeah.
You genuinely asked me if I MMA fight my wife, which is I let that slide because as long as you know what something means, it's language, right?
Yeah.
It's communication. So
Any fight in a cage, I just describe as an MMA fight. If there's a cage around people, then it's an MMA fight.
okay.
That's
Well,
how-
I mean,
that's how-
that's
There's some
also not
erotic
true.
MMA fights out there.
Yeah, my wife has also done jujitsu competitions in a cage.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So still only jujitsu.
Okay.
Still not MMA.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, but there's a cage.
but the first M is mixed, and that is one of the forms of the martial. That's one of them. You can do jujitsu in MMA.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
So technically, it is MMA fighting.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how that works.
but is it,
People on the street just MMA
is-
fighting, right?
That is not how. That's not how transitive property works.
If this fighting is MMA, then that MMA is that fighting. Yeah. If A equals
I
B
see- I see what you're saying, but
yeah.
by this logic, any kind of fighting could
Yes.
be MMA fighting.
Bum
Because if
fights,
it's like, you can mix any martial
slap
arts
boxing,
in, right?
yeah.
All right.
The kangaroos
Yeah.
fighting a kangaroo in boxing gloves. MMA. That's an MMA.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go with it.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll go with it. Although the basic logic of your premise kind of refutes everything that you say, right? Because your premise was, well, it's mixed martial arts,
Yes.
right? But then one martial art.
One of the martial arts is a mixed martial art. Aren't you
guess the
familiar?
question
Aren't you
is-
familiar with Jew doublespeak?
Look, let me ask you this.
Oh, jujitsu.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we can end it on this.
Okay.
One
Mic
simple
dropper.
question. You familiar with raisins?
Sure. Love them.
Familiar with raisins? You familiar with trail mix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are raisins trail mix?
Oh.
Raisins are an ingredient of trail mix.
That's not what the question was. Are raisins trail mix?
All right, if you take a trail mix and you pick out all the raisins, are you still eating trail mix?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
raisins are a trail mix.
No.
They're part of a trail mix.
No. If you take out, you said if you take out all the raisins and leave what's left still in that box where you took the raisins out of, that's still trail mix.
Okay.
Right? You're eating raisins.
Yeah. But they're like covered in salt though, so they're like slightly better than if you're eating the raisins. That's just
That's
If you want raisins, you eat 'em out of the
I
trail
prefer
mix,
the
they're better.
Kellogg's cornflakes raisins
Okay.
because they
Wait,
got
you
the
don't
sugar.
salt your raisins?
No, are you supposed to salt your
You're supposed to
raisins?
salt everything.
Yeah, that's a good one. I do salt most things that I eat, so I
It
don't know
really
why
is
I don't
true.
salt
White people
raisins.
don't flavor their food, huh?
It's upsetting.
I consider
don't-
salt a
I-
little basic actually. I go for like I'm more of a fucking Old Bay guy.
On your raisins?
On your raisins?
Old Bay raisins,
Yeah,
yes.
On your raisins.
When the fuck do I eat raisins?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't eat raisins.
I like
that
grapes.
often.
Fucking moisture, humidify those raisins.
Yeah, yeah. I look at raisins as like a sweet thing, so I guess I never tried to add salt, but I never really needed a, I don't know, layered flavor with raisins.
Please don't salt your raisins.
Okay, thank
That was
you.
only a joke.
Oh.
I'm so
See,
sorry.
yeah,
That's
we're not
okay.
allowed.
I
To,
am so
we're not allowed
white.
to comment on like.
I am
yeah.
so white when a black guy gives me seasoning tips, I just uncritically accept it. I just go, wow, okay.
Those are the times we're in.
Well, I hope whoever's listening paused it, ate salted raisins, and then
Yes.
came back. I
it's
hope
not
I
gonna
hope
be
we
bad.
didn't stop them in their tracks.
Salted raisins ain't going to be bad.
No,
I just feel like you would oversalt your raisins.
100%. I oversalt everything I eat. Look
Yeah.
at me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have like an extra bowl just for salt, and you'd like dip it in the salt bowl.
All of my meals involve a separate bowl
A separate
just for
bowl
salt.
for salt.
Yeah. Okay, so back. This is generally how the podcast goes. 15 minutes later, we'll get back to what we were talking about.
I said, yeah.
So you changed it to chakra poppers. Was this to match the like new vibe with you and your wife?
Yeah, I mean, that basically describes the format of the podcast. I mean, while we were Two Jack Bros, we switched the format of the podcast to what it is now, where we bring comedians on and we attempt to enlighten them by popping open their chakras. Like each question is designed to pop open a chakra, and and then they're just good jumping off points to getting a little deeper into a comedian to pull out jokes of things that they might not think about on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those. It's a fun podcast where it's if you can come on and roll with the format, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
And
It's an interesting to do it with comedians too, because it's making them like think so introspectively, but nobody lies to themselves more than comedians.
I forget who, honestly forget who said this, but I had heard someone say that your podcast is like tough
That
to
was
be on
me.
as a guest. Was it you?
The highest degree of difficulty.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, dude, here's the thing. A lot of people use it as an opportunity. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are like, yeah, maybe some comedians lie to themselves, but I think we're looking to express ourselves as honestly as we can.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we do stand up. We want to stand up as a very naked art form, right? And we're looking to be naked. Basically, we're looking to get up on stage, be naked in front of people, and get them to laugh at our tiny penises.
Yeah. Finally, I can have.
Sorry, Neil.
Yeah.
Can't do
men-
comedy,
yeah.
buddy.
The men, the women, we all have tiny penises. That's
Yeah.
The laughter's happening. I just want control over it. That's really is what
Nah,
it is.
no, you're pretty hung, right?
I'm not doing too bad.
Yeah, it's out now. I wish you'd put it away.
Okay, I apologize. Just look at me in the eyes for a little bit longer.
Yeah. We're actually in his penis right now. The studio.
Yeah. Guys, welcome.
We're
What
in
do you
his
think I
urethra right now.
Yeah.
It's spacious.
no,
did? Thank you very much.
no
You're
one
like a young
sneezed.
Fassbender.
Yeah. My the most impressive thing about your podcast, and this isn't something that the audience actually knows, is that you have 3 young children in your house, and you say, "Okay, I need you to be quiet. We're going up to do a podcast now," and they do.
No, I hear them the entire time.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you have maybe
literally-
like a trained parental ear, because I can't think of the fucking hell me and my brother would raise if my podcasting mom, fucking yeah.
Oh, I know. I hear them downstairs fighting all the time. They're constantly arguing. They're constantly, it's. I hear them pretty much every podcast.
Oh, I didn't hear a peep from them.
Yeah, I think you couldn't. I think your ears were sweating. I think you were.
So was I that nervous?
Yeah, you were. I mean, again, the name Two Jack Bros doesn't really describe what the podcast was. So, at times, people are kind of ambushed with the format. It's when it was Two Jack Bros. Like nobody will be ambushed with the format now that it's Chakra Poppers. At the very least.
I really thought with me being there, it would at least be 3 jacked bros. But
Wait, why'd you think that?
Although Dave, now I think what
Come
he's
on.
saying, I think what Sidney's saying is the name Two Jack Bros is available now for a podcast.
That's true.
So,
you could just change it like that.
Yeah, but being the size of 2 men doesn't make you 2 Jack Bros. You know what I mean? It's like,
Stop talking about dicks. No, you. So I don't know how many people notice. You have 3 kids, and you're I don't know the age. Like what, 10? I guess. Like the old one.
yeah, my oldest is 11, and then I have twins that are 7.
And they're identical twins, which is
Creepy.
as rare as it's The
creepy
Shining,
as fuck.
right? Yeah.
identical twins and then one child that is not.
Yeah,
a twin.
I don't even know the twin reference for The Shining, but here's what I will say, right? Anytime you see 2 people that look exactly alike, it is fucking jarring. And it's really jarring if you don't expect it. Like if you stumble upon people that look exactly alike, not having been prepped for that whatsoever, it's you'll never forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You remember every set of identical twins you've ever encountered.
That's true.
I mean, you've given the statistic that, because we all know twins, and you're like, how many of you know identical twins? And then everyone's like, yeah. And then you're like, that's identical twins make up 1 in every 7,000 set of twins or something.
Yeah,
like
Wow.
it's absurd. It's absurd. It's like a very small percentage of twins are identical twins. Like
Whoa.
identical twins are very rare
Yeah.
humans.
I saw 2 sets of adult twins separately in the same day and thought I was like, oh, something great is gonna happen to me later. I think
yeah.
it was insane.
It's good luck.
Hey,
You're blessed.
Because I got there a little early to your house, so to entertain myself, I made them race against each other, and it wasn't a tie every time, and that was a little bit disappointing.
Well,
But that's the best way to break the second kid curse, because nobody gives a shit normally when a person has a second kid, unless it's like a 1 in 80,000. Well,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay,
if you have identical
we're
twins,
leveling up a
second,
little bit. Yeah.
I get it. People will care.
Yeah, because our last guest, Matera, he had a kid. I went over there. Oh, I could hold the baby, feed him. He had a second kid. I just sent him like a thumbs up text.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think no matter what, our second kid would have been come with quite a lot of fanfare. My wife and I are amazing people, and we produce brilliance. So I think just people would have just showed up just to bask in the glow of the brilliance of our second kid, no matter what. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that happens to some people.
No, honestly, if your podcast would show that. I mean, like I watch. It's like if you pop the chakras of your kids, they're gonna come
That's
up.
not legal. You can't pop kid chakras, dude. They gotta be at least 18 years old.
Oh shit! I had no idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't. Yeah, and we actually have to get consent to pop adult chakras.
Right.
You can't. I mean, I know we live in a different time right now,
Sure.
but you
No,
can't.
you're not popping anyone's chakra.
No.
You're allowing them to pop their own chakra.
What is a chakra, and how can it be popped?
Well, I think if you squeeze it hard enough.
Okay.
you
So
squeeze
it's a
anything hard
physical,
enough, you can pop
tangible
it.
thing?
No, anytime this question gets asked, my wife always describes it as they're like energy centers in your body. And so, ancient again, I'm not going to get into ancient advanced civilizations because that's not what we're here to do, right? But
We don't need to see how far we've degraded.
yeah, big supporter of the theory, right?
Yeah.
So I
Me
feel
too.
like a lot of the information that is ancient, I think the source of a lot of that information is lost, right?
Mhm.
And that being said, a lot of the things that hold up as far as like ancient knowledge that has to do with the body, like a lot of that stuff that holds up, I feel like, we look at as like kind of lucky. And I think we, again, I'm getting too far off track. I did smoke on the way here, but this is definitely
you?
my marijuana brain talking right now. So I apologize.
That's half.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. That's how I watched the podcast, so it was all right.
I mean,
yeah.
word. Word. So anyway, there are energy centers. So the reason why I was bringing it up like that is because they're associated with different feelings in your body, or that might not be the best way to say it, but let me get into it and hopefully it all makes sense.
Okay.
So the fear chakra is located physically, your taint basically, right? And it's also when people get scared, you tighten your asshole,
Okay.
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
You get tight butted.
Dave's
that's-
really good at that. We established that.
I've been doing it the whole time we've been sitting here.
You're a whistler. You got a whistler?
Oh, no,
Dave's sphincter control is
I just
incredible.
haven't. Yeah, I just haven't timed out a bathroom trip, and I don't use other people's for that.
Oh, you're a clencher.
Yeah.
It's a strong clencher.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my
Oh, yeah.
fucking my fear is in control right now.
Yeah.
If I'm getting what you're putting down.
I mean, well, it's also probably because the greatest fear of all is having anything put up your ass.
Urethra more than ass.
That's where
Uh,
your terror center is.
Yeah, you're good. Nothing's getting in your urethra.
I've had a catheter in there.
Yeah,
and
with-
I've
with
had a
medical
suppository
grade
up-
lube.
I was not
That did-
physically present for it being put in, but I was awake for it being taken out. I'm
You were
guessing
afraid.
it probably
Oh.
is worse the other way. If I had to guess,
Yeah.
I was blacked out drunk.
Dude, you probably wouldn't feel like the type of lube that they have in hospitals. You wouldn't feel it.
I heard I screamed a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
From men that I know. 'cause
Is
I've
it a
had-
numbing lube we're talking? I
I've
think
never
I
had
was.
it.
I
No,
was.
it's just the slickest substance on earth.
Yeah.
It's still stretching. It
Yeah, I
shouldn't.
don't know.
I think it's the uncomfortability that comes in when they're pushing into the bladder that I from guys who have had it, because I had the same thing, Dave, where like it was for a surgery, so you're knocked out when they put it in. Taking it out is weird. It's definitely a crazy sensation, but
Oh, I'd probably come.
yeah, there's a very strange, because a young lady, usually they're always hot, and they grab just your
Sure.
penis in the worst moment,
Yeah.
just the worst moment.
There's
to take
no worse moment for a hot chick to grab my penis. So just put it out.
Even with a 2-minute, just
No.
like
No.
what's up?
They refuse to
Dude,
make eye contact.
I've
That's
been
the
prepping
problem.
for every penis grab fantasy known to man. I'm ready.
You're ready.
So
I'm
you've
already
done that
ready.
home catheterizations just for fun.
yeah,
Dude, listen, you just gotta pray. You gotta play every scenario. You
Right.
never know
Yeah.
when your penis is gonna get grabbed.
yeah,
You know,
I like it.
you gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta take every opportunity to come when your penis is grabbed.
It's true.
Yeah, you're
do.
right.
I do.
These are great
You
advice.
probably got to re-up that preparation, because I'm guessing it would hurt if I did it again tomorrow.
You're good.
Yeah, I guess you get numb to that eventually, but it happened to me 20 years ago, so it'd probably feel like the first time.
Yeah, I'm sure you've gone back. I think it's reset.
I got hard alcohol again now. But yeah, that's where I hold my fear. Sorry, we got off track
Yeah, that's
again.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the deal.
So you're okay with the urethra, but you don't want anything up your butt.
Well, here's the deal, and here's because for men, the greatest fear of all is having to survive in some sort of prison system, right? And nobody's worried about anything being stuck in their urethra in prison,
Right.
right?
That's fair.
So with the greatest fear comes the greatest fear, right? So the greatest fear is prison. And then within that fear is having your asshole penetrated, right?
Okay.
By a man you can't stop from
Right.
penetrating your asshole.
Sure.
Probably in a situation where there isn't any lube.
Yeah.
And he's just
Cruising
gritting his
great.
Oh,
teeth
there's
and
the
bearing-
shower, you know, it's
Yeah.
watered down.
You would hope.
Yeah.
That is the least traumatic of the scenarios that you could be fucked in the ass in prison.
Oh yeah.
And that's why that's the most popular one, because that's the one we can handle.
Right. Yeah.
It's mostly going to be way less romantic.
It's usually a guy. It's usually a guy named Claw who just spits
Yeah.
on your butt. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
You know,
So he
you know,
spits at
if
least, yeah.
if he spits on your
If he
butt,
spits in your
he
butt.
might
So
want to
that's-
challenge himself that day.
Yeah.
But the
You know
guys
what
that
I
get
mean?
you in the shower, they're the
Yeah,
romantics.
you're probably
Yeah.
gonna have your asshole ripped apart somehow. You know. So, but yeah.
My fear chakra is sweating right now.
Yes.
I pulled
Yeah.
up the chakras as well, so just
Oh, well,
I could
thanks for doing
show
that, man.
them.
But yeah,
That's
so
the root chakra.
yeah, that's the root chakra.
I just
That's
meant
the-
so
that's-
people can have a
that's
visual.
where- that's the chakra that's associated with fear, right? And so as we're moving up, so we have the sacral chakra, which is located in the pelvis, and so for that the question for that one has to do with an apology, that section has to do with an apology. So when you feel guilt, that's where you feel it. You feel it in your lower abdomen,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
That's where that sensation is. So the solar plexus chakra, that's when you like your feeling of disappointment, it's not the same as guilt. You don't feel it physically located in the same part of your body.
Right. It kind of
Right?
inhabits, your gut.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the heart chakra, of course, that's where your love and grief are. So it's when your heart is broken, you don't feel it in your tight asshole.
No.
You don't
No,
feel
no,
it in
no,
your solar plex. You know what I mean? You feel
No.
it in your heart. You literally feel it in your heart.
Can I
That'd
ask
be
you
a
a
weird-
question to
Ah, she dumped me.
You just need to open your asshole and
Yeah.
learn to love again, you know?
I just don't know if I don't know
Take
if,
in the love.
I don't know if my asshole's ready to get back out there, guys.
You gotta
So,
get it out there.
When speaking of
You gotta
open,
get
when-
its groove back.
I've heard a few times the term like open your chakras, especially related to like your heart chakra. Like what would opening your chakra entail? Would it be like this radical honesty that you're promoting on the podcast? Is it like confronting the things that are keeping you from, like, is it personal work?
It is. It's confronting the thing that is blocking the chakra, like keeping the chakra from blocking, from being open. And so the way the Avatar, The Last Airbender explains it
Okay. Yeah.
is that you can think of them as pools. Like each one is a different little pool, and then there's a little stream that connects each pool.
Okay.
And if one of them gets blocked, then it can't connect to the next pool. And so there's
Send in another kid. As like a slide reference. That was bad, huh?
What do you guys want me to do?
yeah.
Just
Sorry.
looked over at me
Go
like,
on. You
Neil?
guys don't have something. There's no contingency for bad.
No.
No, we are a
we power
live. We are a
through.
live podcast.
Yeah.
I have to. I
Dave
have
has
to
to
sit
sit
in
in
that.
it.
Yeah, I
one.
figured there'd be a sound effect or something.
Yeah.
Nothing.
His sacral chakra is throbbing right now. He feels.
I think we're at the
guilty
throat,
about that.
right?
Yeah,
You cover the heart.
So the throat chakra has to deal with honesty, truth, right? So
okay.
you gotta, you find what is it that you're hiding? What are you trying to be? What do you need to be truthful about?
That was tough.
And again,
Yeah.
when you feel like you're caught in a lie, you feel it in your throat. It's something that's you gulp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's where, and these ancient people had something going, right? So the third eye chakra that deals with the illusion that things are separate, right? Because nothing is independent,
Yeah, sure.
right? So everything is of something else.
Mm-hmm.
So what that does is what we get you to do there is take.
Mushrooms. Because that will open your third eye. Absolutely.
I mean, it sure
100%.
does.
It really, like, honestly, not even just as a joke,
Yeah.
like straight up as advice.
I mean, listen.
you want to experience your third eye chakra? Just take mushrooms. It'll do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, well, get yourself in a good place before
Yeah.
you take these mushrooms.
Do it with somebody that's done it before,
Yeah.
and when you're in a good mood, and they can guide you.
have a bunch of fun, then take mushrooms.
Yes.
And
yes.
then enjoy the world,
Absolutely.
right? But so yeah, we get you to conceptualize two things that are separate, that you've realized actually kind of are the same, like something that maybe you've noticed. And a lot of these things we don't think about on a regular basis. So even though these thoughts are happening in different parts of your brain, they're not necessarily thoughts that you pull to the surface. And so that's what's fun about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun watching people pull things to the surface of the brain that was already there.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then
It's rewarding to watch people, like Dave said, the most extremely damaged people that go into comedy to kind of process that. And we have this weird thing where we are radically honest in certain ways, like our throat chakra often open because we're honest about things, but
Like
all of our other
society, yeah.
chakras are closed the fuck off. You know what I mean? Like I know comics, myself included, sometimes they're going through the worst shit, like a breakup or something, and we'll openly be talking about that heartache. But at the same time, it's like I'll see people and it's like, yeah, you're talking about it, but you're not getting over it. Like, you're not actually processing. Oh, like, I'm up here, it's like my therapy. It's like, oh no, you don't seem to be experiencing the benefits of therapy up here. You're just being extremely honest and still deeply broken. So I think it's a cool idea to try and like make comics confront.
There's a whole
opening
segment
these
of
things up.
comedy that's just making the audience feel better about themselves.
Oh, sure,
That's
yeah.
where their laughs come from. I'm not him.
Yeah, it's sort of our niche.
My
right?
favorite kind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're cornering.
Sidney, with do you guys ever ask yourselves these questions and share the answers with each other, like just as a thing, or yeah, it's interesting.
so before we actually started recording it, we were doing that with each other for multiple weeks in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, so the answers, you know, were, I wouldn't say change it, but like, you know, when you find something new that you didn't realize was a thing. And so, yeah, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Long answer, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially for weeks. Love it. Like, really must have been. I don't know if that was intense for you guys because you guys are fairly obviously like connected in that way. But like, did you guys find anything or anything surprising going through that process?
Not really. I mean, we're pretty open with each other. But yeah, you know, like having the sit down talks, like suddenly you remember a story that you didn't even realize you forgot.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, oh yeah, that shit does match.
Right.
This, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And and mostly what we were doing is making sure that like on every level that we can keep finding humor within the process.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's like,
You broken anyone yet?
how
You don't have to say
how do you mean?
Yeah.
Just, I was just like, anyone break down crying ever? Or
From what you
Just
told me of it, the cracks were
Yeah, I
beginning
don't-
to show in
yeah,
your
just-
episode.
Yeah, I don't
did-
know.
did-
I don't know if I would call crying breaking down.
Right.
I just meant mentally, but yeah, I was trying
I
to put
don't-
a physical
Dave
face.
isn't allowed to be vulnerable, so
Right.
crying to him is it's the
sign of
sacral
weakness.
chakra.
I haven't done it in a while. I can well up a little bit.
Yeah.
From time.
Yeah.
It's only movies though. I
Okay.
don't nothing in real life. I think just a soundtrack. If life had a good enough soundtrack, maybe that could get me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to masterfully splice that shit together to get to me though.
Okay.
I mean, well, some crying is breaking down. Like you can physically look at a person and tell the difference.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like breaking down crying, I think it involves like an unending stream of snot coming out of your nose, and like you know, like it's like the convulsive cry,
Yeah.
right? It's I feel like, I mean that's the kind of cries that you probably have every once in a while,
You got to get it out.
because
you
like
think-
I like most people kind of like let the little ones leak every now and
Yeah.
again.
Is that a welling? That's a welling. Is it just a little mist? Little mist. I don't full on cry.
Yeah, then you shove it. That's when
I
you
am-
begin
yeah.
the process of just shoving
I
it
should-
deep down.
Someone should keep an eye on me. But yeah, I'm not a visibly emotional person.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I do that though. I hold in the small ones, and then I'll have like a day where I have like the big one. But then I go, okay, now I feel better. Like I've learned how to. That's the way I process. Is it healthy? No, but at least it's healthy that I come out of it being like, okay, you know,
Yeah, I mean we don't know what's healthy and what's not.
that is true.
You know, we're all just trying to.
We're all
We're
gonna-
doing what works for us. Everybody's doing what works for them.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So again, it's a comedy podcast.
I was going to ask you that too. You're right. I was going to ask you that too. Do you find that this field of study, does that help you with your comedy at all? Like the idea, like the way that you now approach, or at least this aspect of life, looking at things through this lens. Do you find that it helps your premises, your delivery, maybe your overall point of view?
I definitely feel like, I feel like my comedy is already kind of like formulated in a similar format, right? Where, I do talk about. I mean, again, I do it in the way that I do it, and maybe sometimes the way that I do it is too clever, or maybe it's too concealed. But like, I do talk about like my fears, my disappointments, and the things that I do to people. Like, I don't. I wouldn't say I'm probably more of like an anti-hero in my stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Or sometimes even in my win, like I was the guy that was wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Which is true to life. But I'm very honest about that. Like I flip out, and sometimes I raise the situation to a level that it doesn't need to be, and I never deny that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I can pick up and move on from any rock bottom. So like
that's a skill in and of itself.
Yeah, so I'm okay with the consequences of my behavior for the most part because I can pick up and move on.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I think that I'm right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not.
Well, like you said,
I'm just retarded enough to be funny, right? But I'm not so retarded that I don't see myself.
Yeah. Well, your shit is hilarious, and as someone that's seen you a few times, you have that. A lot of your jokes come from that vulnerable, personable place. You're definitely up there, and like you said, subverting it with comedy. Like like Dave, this too. You can't be too honest. You have to undercut that at some point with something fucking funny.
I don't.
Hopefully.
Well, I don't. Yeah. I feel like for me personally, the medium that I'm using is honesty. So I'm looking to get more honest.
Yeah.
Because that to me, that's where. I mean that's what the things that are true. So again, you're not going to you're going to comedy to be made to laugh, right? But
allegedly,
the stuff that's funny,
not
the audience doesn't always know that. But,
yeah. But the stuff that's funny is like the fucked up stuff about you,
right?
Yeah. And it's how do you get more of that? How do you, because there's nuances to it. It's like, oh yeah, you can be broad, like, oh yeah, I did this fucked up thing, like I started an argument with a clerk at pick any store, and I've been kicked out of it. I promise you.
Yeah.
Like any big chain, anything. I have been like asked to leave from this place. And then I go back.
Okay.
Like I go back and I just like nothing happened and continue with service.
Like hours later, or do you put like a few weeks in between?
I go back in the rotation of me going back there. Like I don't like try to stay away from any amount of time. It's like when I need to go back to that place, I am going.
How do you do this? Do you try to complain about prices, or what? How do you get yourself kicked out of stores? I don't do that. I'm not in the habit of it. I try to be invisible in stores.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate bad customer service.
That's fair.
Okay.
And so
there's a fuck ton of that now after COVID.
Oh, dude,
nobody gives a shit
see,
anymore.
I wear it on my sleeve.
Okay.
People see me coming and they tuck in their shirt.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they don't like these cashiers don't want this smoke.
No, I totally get that. You have a little bit of like a friendly drill sergeant vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, drop and give me 20.
Yeah.
Dude, I get so listen. So the last big kick out that I had that involved the cops was during the pandemic. I did not want to get the vaccine. Right? But Punchline and some other comedians made it so that you needed to get the vaccine, and I needed the fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the vaccine. I got the first shot, went back to get my second shot. Now, when I go back to get my second shot, whatever they wrote on my card wasn't right. Right? So they were having trouble with the system, And the lady was just being a bitch about it to me because she was acting like it was my fault. But this particular person actually was the one that fucked it up.
Okay.
So so they went in the computer and it didn't have the same information as it had on the card, but she wrote that information down wrong. And she was being mean to me and acting like she had to do all this ridiculous stuff to fix it. And she was going to fix it, but I needed to know about this. And I just got fed up and I I started implying that that was all fake. It was all fake. And if it was real, then these vaccine cards wouldn't be trust to fucking retards.
Oh man.
And
Don't you lose a little bit of upper hand when you use slurs? I mean, it's a good slur, and I would never actually use it on an actual retarded. It just rolls off the tongue so good. I don't blame you, but
it's okay. The 90s,
but
the
yeah,
90s
you lose a
sounded
lot
good.
of a lot of support when you go there.
Dave, what the fuck why you think I want or need support? You think I'm trying to maintain an upper hand?
Well, your goal was to leave with the second shot,
Was
or
it?
at least them to write, or
I
at least
thought I
them
was
to write
very
down.
clear.
You
I
wanted
thought
them
I
to
was
write
very
down
clear in the beginning of this story
that you didn't want
that
the
I did
vaccine.
not want the vaccine.
But you wanted them to at least acknowledge that you got the vaccine.
No. I wanted her to stop being a fucking cunt to me. That is all I cared about. I did not care about anything else. I could never get that vaccine. I did not give a shit. I was going to go home and forge the shit anyway.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, after that, I did not give a fuck. What I wanted her to know is that I wasn't going to let her slide with that behavior towards me.
Okay.
Because I didn't do anything wrong. She was the one that did something wrong. I wanted her to know that I knew she was the one that did something wrong.
Yeah,
And then
surely
I wanted
you
everybody
understand
else.
this, Dave.
I wanted everybody else to know that when she, like her coworkers, which I ended up speaking to as well, I want you to all know when I leave here, and then she tries to act like I was the crazy one, and I'm the one that flew off the handle. This is because she's inept, and you all know she's inept because you all talk about her when she's not around. You know what I mean? Like, dude, no, I went in, Dave. Like,
it's an altercation when you're addressing
on the
other
way out?
employees.
I don't listen. I was raised feral, dog. I don't give a fuck about society's rules.
I know. I've heard.
You know, like, so I don't like. Listen, man. I was only getting this vaccine to go into a club, and honestly, all I needed was the first shot because I just needed to see what they did to this fucking card. I can do the rest.
Yeah.
I can look at somebody else's shit and do the rest.
And I found out while getting the vaccines that the second shot was the exact same as the first shot. I thought it was like a chaser. It's literally the same, like something,
Yeah, something fun.
It works with the first shot in
That's what I thought. It was
unison.
like a
After
booster, right?
you let it sit for this time, and then the real shit comes in and fucking pumps life into it. No, it's literally because someone's like, "Oh, I'm in this line, but I know I need to be in that line for the second shot if I'm in the first line," and I'm like, "It's the same fucking shot."
Really?
I
thought it was like some sort of like, I don't know.
Chaser
triumph of,
wasn't
like,
a good enough
human
term.
science.
Yeah.
Well, it's a drinker's term. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, well, I did a lot of research on it before getting it put in my body. But okay, I guess you guys just showed up and were like, "Give it to me."
No, I just
If you're gonna look at
Okay.
three people you're looking at three people, and if you had to guess which one, no one could see you.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
That's how we prefer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
if you
once
had
in
to
a while
guess
he's
which
got
one actually takes consideration on what goes into his body.
Yeah, not me. I am a conspiracy-minded person, and I acknowledge that there's probably something likely due to the development time of the shot. But ultimately, I uncritically consume a lot of different things as evidenced by my body. So I just don't. I was just like the way I said it was. You know what? I mean, I'm fucked up in every other way. Just give me the fucking.
I don't
shot.
care that much about getting vaccinated, but my main reason for getting it was like because I wanted to go into comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And also because I wanted to call everyone a pussy that got sick from the first shot. So I was like, I bet I could fucking sleepwalk through it. I was great after that first shot. So
I think I was
I had a
fine.
little bragging. It's the first time I felt tough.
Did you have the first shot when you gave me COVID, Dave?
I believe I was fully vaccinated.
I believe you were. I believe you were
that's-
fully vaccinated when you gave me COVID. Me too.
Yeah, I never got it.
that
but-
you know of, or you just didn't.
I mean,
Did you
I'm not a
test?
pussy, so I wouldn't know. It's like I don't get
What
sick.
real men fucking jam swabs up their nose until they're poking their brain.
Yeah, I, do.
Yeah.
I just don't really get sick. But anyway, so at,
No, I don't
at
either.
CVS, so they ended up asking me to leave, and I started talking to the people in the CVS now, and I was like, "Do you see how fucking fake this is?" Because they're asking me to leave without my second shot that apparently I need to stop killing other people's grandmoms. So if this was so fucking dire, why would you want me to leave the CVS without getting my second shot? Why would you let, I even said, why would you let somebody acting like this leave without a second shot and just go into the fucking community?
I'll go to all your grandma's houses.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
It is a way to get the shot faster, though. Like, it's irresponsible for you to let me leave like this.
well, so
Spreading.
they called the cops.
Oh, God damn, really?
Yeah, and then the cops got there and they asked what was happening, and I told them exactly what I did, exactly what happened, what I said, why I said it, and because we were under, and this is what a lot of people don't know, we were under like not martial law, but what was a we were in a state of emergency.
Yeah.
So they couldn't kick me out. They couldn't deny me of the vaccine. I knew that. They didn't know that.
So you took a victory lap?
No, I just started talking to the cops. I was like, listen, I explained to them, like, this is what I know. We're in a state of emergency. They cannot,
Was this in Philly?
No, it was in my town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suburbs,
And,
rural?
Yeah,
where-
suburbs.
Okay.
And so I said to them, I was like, listen, but I don't want to get the second vaccine here anyway. I don't even like these people anymore. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it somewhere else anyway. So I'll leave. But here's the deal. I'm going to leave talking the most shit I can think of on the way out. And they were like, okay. I was like, what did he say? I was like, no. I'm going to walk backwards. I'm talking to them backwards. You guys, because they started walking ahead of me. And I was like, no. I'm going to face them. So they stopped, and I walked backwards between them so that I'm now facing them. It's because I wanted to be yelling over top of the cops. Like that's what, and
Taking this one of maybe the solo life opportunity to be able to scream over cops and feel.
I've had others. You got to know how to finesse the legal system. Man. You got to know the rules.
Okay.
We
You got to
don't.
know the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
get
can
out
just
of
we can just
tickets,
yell
we get
at
out of-
cops.
yeah, we're like,
Yeah, it really is.
yeah, we're white too. Yeah, go on. Here's some money.
All right, run along now, boys. Yeah.
Yes, rapscallions.
Yeah. I mean, I put it to you this way. I guarantee you I've gotten less tickets percentage-wise. than
Nah.
I
everybody
don't
in
know.
this room.
I found out cops just love you admitting you're an idiot a lot of times. Like,
Yeah.
I fucking made like the worst turn, almost killed like 8 people. And cop just walked up. I'm like, "Yep, I'm an idiot." He's like, "Have a good night."
I'm fucking shameless. Police, I mean, I don't date anymore, but dates and cops are when I will lead with a comedian. I'm sorry, officer, I was just driving to a comedian-related thing. Oh, you do comedy? Yeah, actually. Start a little friendly, extremely white conversation with them, and then they let you go, usually.
I like, I ran a red light like a month or two, and then cop pulled him. Really thought I had it.
That's some radical honesty right there. Your throat chakra wide open
Yeah.
in that moment.
I mean, that's the best way to deal with a cop.
yeah.
Is to not be a dickhead about it.
No,
But
right, exactly.
I've,
Be
I've only
respectful.
I've only gotten one ticket.
Okay,
Okay.
you beat me percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been pulled over. Dude, I got pulled over for doing 85 miles per hour in Decatur, Georgia, right? And I was me and a friend of mine, a comedian friend of mine, a female. We were having we were arguing about Mitch Hedberg, right? But it was like we were both being like purposely over the top because he was a very, underperforming comedian. So we were like being absurd. It was just like, the whole bit was just absurd. So pulled over doing like 85 miles per hour. Like yelling at a white lady, dude, and we had just got back from buying ounces of weed.
Oh gosh!
So the car smelled like so much weed, and of course I was just honest with the cops, and he already ran my plate, and when we moved, we didn't renew we didn't get the Georgia plate, and then the Pennsylvania registration had expired, so we had expired tags.
Oh no!
So he already ran it,
Mm-hmm.
so we had to tow it. And but what he did, he just didn't give me any tickets, and I asked him if I could get some stuff out of my trunk, and he was like, "Let me go to my car first."
Oh wow! Okay.
And then I got the there was some like bags like in my trunk, so I just put the weed in the bags, and then we just waited for my wife to come pick us up.
Cool cops. There
Yeah.
you go.
All
That's
right.
There we go. All right.
We're at that 50-minute. We're
Yeah, we're there.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
didn't
So
even
it's
get a
time
chance
for
to
the
talk about-
news, right?
yeah,
Oh,
we didn't
oh.
even get a chance to talk about you losing Iron
know, we
Comic,
gotta
which is
say
something.
that.
All right. Next week we'll.
Yeah, we're
open with
gonna
it.
bring it up next week.
No lightsaber play on the podcast, people. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you said you haven't been crying. You haven't been ugly crying. There had to be at least one ugly cry when you lost Iron Comic.
Oh, I'm just gonna rip it into whoever that third judge was. But, all right.
We'll talk about it next
Yeah.
week, but let's do the news.
We're talking news. We're talking news. News. Talking news. We're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
We're back.
All right.
And we're back. Is that what I heard?
And we're back.
That's what I heard.
That was the title. He
What,
wanted
you
for
could
the
say
title of this
retard and
podcast.
cunt, but okay. No.
Listen, I'm not one of those people can't say words.
I know.
As a matter of fact, I think you should every third word just throw in an N-word.
There you go. He's daring you to
I
do it.
do
Writing
feel like it
challenge.
would fit in seamlessly in a third of these. Yeah. You're,
They should hear how you talk when the cameras aren't rolling. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Dan, do you want to tell them what we're doing here?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right. My job. So as the viewers know, Sydney, if you don't, what we do is we are going to do about 15 news jokes each. Dave and I have not heard each other's jokes. I have no idea what he's about to say, and he has no idea what I'm about to say. If we have the same news story, we're gonna have a joke off. And a joke off is settled by you, our guest judge. You just pick the one you like better,
Sure.
and then bragging rights to the winner. Dave, want to
All
lead us
right.
off?
Yes. Wild brawl of scantily clad women breaks out at Lux Las Vegas Casino. That's right. You've seen Vegas Excalibur. You've seen their Eiffel Tower. Now watch Vegas draw inspiration from Europe once again with their first annual running of the whores.
I like that. You went like announcer
I
with
know.
it. That was really good.
Pizzazz. I
Yeah,
added
yeah,
that
yeah,
much
yeah.
needed zazz.
You're zhuzhing everything up
Yep,
now, and I
zhuzh.
like it. Secret Service concludes White House cocaine investigation with no suspect identified. But because none of them came forward to take responsibility, all of Joe Biden's children are grounded for 3 months.
Joke off time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Where did it go? Where did it go? Where the fuck did it go? Wait, Union. No. Perfect. Where the fuck is it?
It's hiding. Did you get rid of it?
Donald Trump says.
God, I
maybe
love this isn't my
maybe I
fault.
did. This is bad. This is bad stuff.
Yeah, you
Well,
keep track of
sorry,
your
I'll
own, your
jump
own
to it
bits.
later
Wait,
then.
wait. What happens when somebody false flags a joke?
That should be a. You're right.
Yeah.
That should be a penalty point. I believe.
can we
I
take
feel
one
like you
point?
should get a
Can we take a
negative
point
point.
already?
If I don't.
There
if
we
I
go.
get
Found it.
All right.
Secret Service concludes cocaine investigation. No suspect identified. They said their investigation was thorough and that all the right questions were asked. Mainly, do you know who my dad is?
That's good. Okay. As the
okay.
judge, who do you think takes it?
I'm gonna have to go with Dave's on that one.
Okay. There you
Boom.
go.
Yeah.
Got it in under the wire.
That's
though.
true, yeah,
Barely counts.
We
as
should we should make him prove that it was written on there.
and he didn't just make it up.
Everybody
you
knows
did
I
that.
can't remember
Yeah.
shit.
All right. Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says the COVID virus was ethnically targeted to spare Jews. Yeah. Is COVID a Jewish disease? Well, it is a respiratory virus that once you get it, you just have to tell everyone you know you're sick.
Very good.
I like how you. Oh yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
Like the nice delivery of that part.
Thank you.
Sweet. Larsa Pippen says Michael Jordan's remark about her relationship embarrassed her. The remarks are even making her think about getting the courts involved because it's clear cut her divorce papers said that any embarrassment she receives is supposed to go directly to Scotty. I fucked with the wording too much and might have.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a.
I kept tinkering with it, and I might have tinkered myself out of it.
Sometimes the way the story's written, it makes it kind of Herculean to try and get
Yeah.
your joke into it.
Scottie Pippen with an empty Scotty.
An
Yeah.
empty
It
Scotty.
was it was a
Yeah.
naked Scotty.
Yeah,
too.
that's what it was. It was
Yeah.
the naked Scotty for a second. You really needed an assist on that joke.
Yeah, well, hell, read it again. Let's see if you can rebound.
No, that's a Rodman joke. Yeah, come on.
All right.
Scottie Pippen actually averaged more rebounds than Dennis Rodman.
No,
That's not true.
I don't think it's yeah.
Dude, Dennis Rodman got like 20 rebounds
there's
a
no
game.
fucking- There's no fucking
See,
way.
now you
Yeah.
caught Neil being so painfully
Yeah.
white. He's like, a black guy just knows
I mean, he
about
is
the
a great
basketball thing.
all-around player, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, but Scottie Pippen was a double-double guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he-
was great.
Yeah.
He just had to
Besides
live in the
points.
shadow of Michael Jordan.
besides points, he had everything else on Jordan.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the Department of Justice no longer believes Trump should have immunity from the E. Jean Carroll rape and defamation lawsuit. This is following new Supreme Court legal guidance on the landmark case Bros v. Hoes.
Nice. Manson family murderer Leslie Van Houten released from prison. Although the courts may have picked a bad time in doing this, during a week where everybody knows the Hollywood actors can be found in their homes.
Good one.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't write one for that, so I'm happy you did. A good Charles Manson joke in 2023. You like to see it.
I made it relevant to today, though.
I like it. I like it.
Fucking actor strike. Nah.
Donald Trump brands the United States a, quote, third world hellhole run by perverts and thugs. The former president went on to brag, it's like I never left.
Iowa Republicans vote to ban most abortions after about 6 weeks. Fortunately for the women there, based on how much fun stuff there is to do in Iowa, 6 weeks last 6 weeks last roughly 8 years. Okay, yeah, not
Sorry,
worth
you
going back and doing it.
stumbled
Doug.
right,
And I know it's not in my top 3.
That's not going to be a clip later, so don't worry about it.
Somebody even called that a turnover. No big deal.
Jordan had more of those than Scotty.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
He was more ball dominant. Yeah.
Yeah. Ron DeSantis said he wouldn't run as Trump's vice president, saying, I'm not a number 2 guy. Though experts question this claim because DeSantis' presidential campaign is currently a huge pile of shit.
Yeah. I thought about, I saw it. I was like, there's an easy Florida joke in there, too.
Oh,
But,
yeah. I'm trying to leave Florida alone a little bit.
Fuck
I've
them.
been coming at him pretty hard.
Jackie Kennedy's handwritten notes at auction revealed JFK's particular diet, which means there's finally a diet out there for all the people who've ever wondered, is my head getting too fat?
Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville says he can't be racist because he was a football coach. The senator said, I treated all those boys I traded for other boys who felt had bigger bodies and would be more useful out in the field the same.
I feel like every college football coach is racist.
I
don't
feel
know
like
why.
I mean, the point of that joke is that the whole prospect is in itself like kind of a racist endeavor, right?
True.
Well, no. But go on, guys. Listen, I don't.
City's over here holding his words.
Like,
Well, I
like-
mean, clearly, you know, we were talking about some more liberal-minded people, but you know, yeah, I'm not gonna convert anybody to. I'm not gonna convert anybody to reality. I don't. That's not my job. You know what I mean? You're supposed to come to it on your own.
Fair.
Okay.
Billy Baldwin reveals Gilgo Beach serial killer suspect was his classmate. Meaning the world needs to take a minute to celebrate that Billy Baldwin walks among us between this revelation and also that he shared a bunk bed with a guy that killed that woman.
He shared a bunk bed with like a killed woman?
I'm guessing Alec Baldwin?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I know, okay.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Did people, are we already forgetting about Alec Baldwin
somehow,
murdering people?
I almost
Okay.
did for a second. Yeah.
It's still funny to me. No.
No, it's getting a little rusty up there, you know? All right. That was the movie he shot the woman on. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
See, we're all forgetting a little bit.
You got to see it, don't you? When it
Rust?
comes- Rust.
Yeah,
Do
of
you-
course I'm
like,
going to see
mean,
it.
you
I
have
like
to?
westerns, so I'm going to watch it anyway. But yeah, the movie that killed somebody, I'm going to see that.
Yeah. Make it not be for nothing.
Right. That's what she would have wanted, the DP, right? Yeah.
Probably just not to be shot.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
That's
probably right.
that's
Probably right.
probably what she wanted.
Doubt she cares what the box office of Rust is going to be. All right. Clarence Thomas gave elite group unusual access to Supreme Court. When asked for comment, they said there's no conflict as the horrible... Fuck, God damn it. All right, let's try this one more time. This thing's like written
We'll
like a
splice it
goddamn
later, yeah.
manifesto. All right.
All right, who wrote it?
Me. You got to understand my writing process here when I write. It's just chicken scratch. It's nonsense that I have to translate it live.
Nah, you're proud of it. That's why you showed it off.
Yeah, you do better than I do.
Nobody
with the type-
shows off their fucking
Look at
anything
my,
unless
I have
they're
really
proud
nice
of it.
handwriting. That's what I
Like,
want to see.
yeah, okay. I see what you did.
You
Man.
do better with handwriting than I do with the typed words.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got.
All right, let's try this one more time. Clarence Thomas gave elite group unusual access to Supreme Court. When asked for comment, the Harlem Globetrotters said there is no conflict as they have no business before the court. There you go. It wasn't even worth going back for, but
Yeah,
I wanted
sometimes
to
you
get
got to
it.
throw in the towel.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth going back for, but I want to fight. for all my
Gotcha,
jokes.
gotcha.
All right.
You got to MMA them jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we call that an airball?
Charlie Kirk says Michelle Obama among black women who steal a white person's slot. Although black women could just turn around and point out that Charlie Kirk is among the people that have stolen a face from a midget.
If you know what Charlie Kirk looks like, that's a funny joke.
It's
And
cartoonish.
he
at
has a
best,
very
yeah.
tiny face. Yeah. O.J. Simpson has come out in support of the Screen Actors Guild strike, which is bad news for the studio heads because when O.J. strikes, it ends in a high-speed chase.
Okay, sticking with movies. Rocky star Dolph Lundgren, 65, and Emma Krockdahl, 25, seemingly get married in Greece. Although the people of Greece were disgusted by the ages of the involved parties, claiming 25, that's practically an adult. It's a country of pedophiles.
Yeah.
I've been.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You're Greek?
No, I just
He's on the
went there for
manifest.
business.
Neil's on the manifest.
Just went there for business.
Check
guys.
the
No big
record.
deal.
Yeah, right.
What's going
Yeah, I
on?
was
those
there in my
flights.
layover to Epstein Island.
Yeah. Check the flight.
That
log.
was no.
FDA approves first U.S. over-the-counter birth control pill, though only officially the first, as lots of pills can stop a baby if you take them with fortified wine.
Love it. Where were we? Union employees are striking at one of the largest magazine paper mills in North America. Their efforts might not yield immediate results, but come wintertime, it'll be very apparent when homeless people don't have anything to use as blankets. Sometimes I like to stare down. I like to.
Yeah,
I will
look
stare
is
that
the
audience
camera.
into laughing.
I
Yeah.
feel like I had to connect too many dots. I'm pretty high, Dave.
My bad. I didn't take that into account when I was writing.
Yeah. You think sober people listen to podcasts like this?
That is true. That is true. We're hoping that they're really high in the beginning and they're sobering up when we
Yeah.
get to the news.
This is a sobering podcast.
Yeah, we're helping people through the steps on this podcast. Senator Chuck Schumer moves to declassify UFO secrets, and the world waits with bated breath to finally learn what the fuck kind of space creature Chuck Schumer actually is.
This is going to sound like a callback, even though, as I said, these were not planned.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Spectator makes contact with cyclist, causing big crash at Tour de France. You've got to have a pretty big pair of balls to run onto the track like that, said the cyclist, although he later went on to admit that anything bigger than raisins looks oversized to him.
It's a raisin callback.
That's yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Salt those raisins, baby.
I didn't have a great week writing.
GOP congressman says trans people in the military could launch ICBM missiles on everyone. It's a hostage situation, the congressman said. So when you think about it, I have to suck their dicks.
Man, that's a crazy thing to be sitting at home terrified about.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Not just a rocket, but one launched by trans people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Although, to be fair, I mean, they can get pretty close to they are masters of disguise. They could probably get pretty close to the button. You know what I mean?
Christ. A Greek priest was arrested for anointing the genitals of a tourist with holy oil and claims he did it because the man had a rash. He was accused of being a bad Christian for being sexually inappropriate and being a bad Greek for not using olive oil.
You're really going at
Two
the
for
nation
on
of
the Greeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've had it too good for too long on this podcast.
Yeah, what do you hate diners? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, right.
They all closed off fucking COVID.
5,000-year-old civilization. Not when Dave's done with it. All right. Cruise line apologizes after dozens of whales slaughtered in front of passengers. A spokesman for the Ambassador Cruise Lines defiantly said, "We will never apologize for giving our passengers the experience of a fresh seafood buffet."
I stared at that one for a while.
It's all right. It's the best I could do.
I
They
wanted
were
a
eating
good
them.
whale mass murder joke, and I just couldn't come up with
They
it.
were eating them. That's-
Mike Pence tells Tucker Carlson January 6th was a riot, not an insurrection. He explained that the difference between the two is that a riot is a disturbance of peace by a large group of people, and insurrection is what he yells at his lap whenever he has an impure thought.
Yeah, I like it. Timothy Chalamet didn't have to audition for his role in Wonka because the director had seen his high school rap videos on YouTube. This is similar to how comedian Dave Primiano didn't have to commit a crime for his internet rap videos to earn him a restraining order.
Burn.
You definitely burned them.
Yeah.
You definitely said something mean.
Yeah.
You definitely went at Dave.
Yeah. There's always one. I have to.
He
It's a
always
tradition.
tries.
I always go
Yep.
at Dave.
Yeah. Do you have internet rap videos?
I do not know.
Okay.
I'm very dignified, if you can't tell. Donald Trump Jr. says cocaine found at White House wasn't his. Quote, "It's not my thing." Although he did go on to clarify that by his thing, he meant misplacing cocaine.
Pretty good. It's kind of like adjacent to the
Yeah,
cocaine one.
I could put them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it one.
Make it one line.
clip.
Yeah. My last one. Elton John and husband called as defense witnesses in Kevin Spacey trial in the hopes their testimony will win the verdict of NOTGUILT. Why? Not guilty.
Very animated.
Thank you.
I would have closed on that too.
I'm not doing another joke after it.
All right, here's my last one. Officials warn nude beachgoers to exercise caution after 3 great white sharks were spotted feasting on the carcass of a sea lion. And even though it happened miles away and there was no immediate threat, they figured this was a subtle way to tell these people to lose weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the news.
There we go. We did it.
A lot of cute ones this time.
A lot of cute
Yeah.
A lot of cutie pies. Yeah.
Gives me a
That's
little,
what we're
gives me a
known
little
for.
stinker this
Yeah.
week.
We'll change our name to the Cutie Pies.
I wouldn't mind. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I put my reputation on the line as a cutie pie.
All right, Sydney, what do you got coming up?
Check out Chakra Poppers. I never have my calendar memorized. When does this come out? Oh, this is live.
We
Yeah,
are going out right now.
We live and die with
So I got
every
your-
word on this thing.
Yeah, I
got Sidney Gantt up there for your Instagram, and then Chakra Poppers up there as well for you.
Yeah.
So-
Check that out. Yeah, definitely. I've been meaning to tell people to go to my Instagram more at Sidney Gantt. And if you don't know how to spell Sidney Gantt, it's SIDNEYGANTT. What again? SIDNEYGANTT. You didn't? Okay.
I never realized your name was an anagram for fucking
Disney.
I was thinking SIDNEYGANTT.
There it is.
Yeah.
SIDNEYGANTT. There you go.
I can
Sidney
S&D.
Gantt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I discovered that in 4th grade.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is your branding was already like preloaded for you to get into
it's a good time.
entertainment. That's great.
It's a good time.
We are now going to get sued for that that little
They
ditty.
love
The
suing
Disney,
people. Disney,
yeah, Bob Iger's coming for us, but Thank you for watching, Bob. All right, guys. That's the show. Thank you so much for...
I mean, should we plug anything?
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, we shouldn't.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it. Forget
then
about it. No, what do you got? What do you got going on?
We got the live podcast coming up in 2 weeks. You could see it live, or you can wait till we put it up whenever that happens. Yeah, I'll
Wait, so they usually watch a live podcast?
no, but we're doing
Yes,
one
okay.
with
Then
a
you're going
crowd.
to do a podcast
live, pre-recorded. Yes.
and then they're going to watch. Your fans going to watch it. Okay.
There's in the
It's a
history of
mind-
the podcast, in a
it's a
couple of
mind
weeks,
fuck.
there will only be one not live podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and it will ironically be the one podcast that we shoot live.
You do in person.
Yeah, we're going to
Say
do
in
one
person.
podcast. Yeah, you're right.
Don't say
in
live.
person in front of an audience.
We can get on some guests that we don't feel comfortable giving someone's home address to, which is a pretty good chunk of comics.
Yep, and we can put on some people who we wouldn't trust with the live aspect of the show, knowing that we might be able to.
Oh, no.
I say keep saying live. It's
Yeah.
almost like a who's on first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to take that away.
The more confusion we can sow, the better. But that's in 2 weeks.
No, I want those people. I want people to say the wrong thing. Seeing live the face of realization when they're like, "Fuck, I can't take that back." That's why you tune into a live podcast.
Well, yeah, that's why we do this live. But you know,
yeah.
we're going to have to pre-record the live show.
Yes, Neil, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, I got. You can go check me out actually this weekend, Saturday at the Atlantic City Comedy Club in AC, 11 p.m. show. Come check me out there. I'm hosting headliner John Moses, Sonia Z, and Raphael Israel. If I got all that right, but go over to IamNeilWood.com and or JamesWoodArt.com if you want to check out some of my art stuff. But go over to that stuff and you get all the tickets and details for everything that DropTent has coming up. Or just go over to DropTent.com for all our dates and details and check out all the podcasts on the network.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I come see my show at Animated Brewing on Thursday. Neil Wood, you're on it.
I
It's
am.
going to be great.
It's gonna be a
You
good
got
time.
got a great flyer for that.
Yep.
And then on Saturday, I am going to be doing a feature spot on Fenris's Filthiest, the parody competition of Philly's Funniest. I will not be competing. As I beat Dave Primiano in last year's competition,
Crowd stacker.
and so I will be not competing, but featuring on that. That'll be at Bar 13 in Delaware on Saturday. I think it's at 9. Yeah, it's at 9. So come see me there, or at Animated Brewing Thursday, 7:30.
Sweet.
All right.
Sydney, thank you for being on. Hope this was enlightening.
It was enlightening for
Hope-
me.
Hope we
Absolutely.
opened up some chakras.
Is that what that was the goal?
Well, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was a. We fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of DropTent Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to DropTent.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see DropTent on. We appreciate it. Go to DropTent.com now.
This has been a DropTent Media production.